Hello friends, welcome to the lesson number 54 of Excel learning series, and also this is our third lesson of pivot table. In the last lesson we talked about creating a pivot table. We created our first pivot table. So in this lesson I am going to concentrate on how to design a report in beautiful and meaningful manner. So the report you are designing should be eye-catchy, and also it should be very user-friendly in order to read the information by your management to take decisions. Right. So before moving to that piece, so let me show you something using this picture here. So I took this picture from Microsoft Learning Materials, because sometimes you may be wondering what is the role of these fields, filters, columns, rows, values, right? Because sometimes it's a little bit hard to understand for some users. Okay. So from this picture, I think we can understand the things in a better way. Alright, so here we have the field list. There are 4 fields in our table: date, buyer, type, amount. And these are the pivot table area, report areas, right? So I told you in the last lesson that filters is for the filtering purpose. When you are reading the report, using the filter, we can filter the information, right? That is straightforward. We can easily understand that. But when we think about rows and columns, you might be a little bit surprised, or you might be a little bit confused which one to use, rows or columns. So I will show that within a few minutes in this lesson. So how you can think about it and how you can select whether to go about with columns or rows, right? So whatever the method that you are selecting, rows and columns provides a condition, right? Provides a condition, and using those conditions, right, the values will sum the details. Let's say, for example, expenditure by buyer, then the condition is buyer, the value is the expenses, and then finally it will give you the total expenses by buyer. When we add the type as a condition, then total expenses by buyer and also by expense type, another condition. So like that way, so that is how this is working. So it's logically you can think about, you need to ask questions when you are developing a report. Okay, what information I am going to present? So that is most important thing. As I mentioned, okay, total expenses by period. Okay, then, right, total expenses by period. Then management will ask, okay, what type of expenses? Then total expenses by period by expense type. Total sales by period. Then management may want to know, okay, what is the breakup by quarter, or what is the breakup by month, or what is the breakup by region, so what is the breakup by sales representative. So likewise, so think about the question, your requirement, and use columns and rows in order to visualize, in order to get that information in a meaningful way, right? So by having that in your mind, let's create another pivot table and let's make it beautiful and also meaningful. We have some data here. So let's create a pivot table and go to insert, click on pivot table, make it in a new sheet. Alright, now my question is, what is the total expenditure? That is my first question. Okay, then you need to take the amount into the sum field. Right, total expenditure is $4,362. So how I know dollars? Because I know what are the raw data. But your management may have a question if you present like this. Okay, 4,362, is this local currency, or is this euros, or is this dollars? Right? So therefore, remember, meaningful way. Right? You need to design your report in meaningful way. By looking at this report, the person who is referring to this report should not have any questions like that. Okay, what is the currency? Then that information you need to provide in the report. Okay, how to do that? Go to the home and select the dollar sign. Alright, now user knows this is dollars. Okay. Then the second question. Now I have the total expenditure. Now I want to know, okay, who are the buyers and who spent this? Then you can add the buyer field either to column or either to rows. Let's first add to the columns. Okay. Now we can see dad spent this much, Kelly, mom this much, and total this much. Yeah, this is also a good way of presenting, but it's not much beautiful, isn't it? Okay, then let's add buyer to the rows. Drag and drop from columns to rows. Alright, so this looks nice and compact, rather having the buyer field under the columns, isn't it? Right, so dad spent this much, Kelly, mom, and total. Then the third question might be, okay, dad spent 2,000, that is too much. I want to know what are the expense types. Right, then take the expense type and let's first add to the columns. Oh my god, it's really complicated now. Amounts are everywhere, and I have to read this carefully. And the other thing is, as the user, I have to scroll to the right and left. It's not nice, right? In order to see the grand total and the medical and home insurance, so I have to scroll to the right. That's not nice, right? So then, like that we think about, if you have this type of report, it is not beautiful, it is not user friendly. It is meaningful, but it's not user friendly. Then what is the best way? You can have multiple fields in the rows or in the columns. Then let's add the type, drag and drop after the buyer under the rows. Wow, it's nice, isn't it? Okay, we have dad here and the breakup of the expenses done by dad. It's really nice. Right, now let's focus on this and let's make it more beautiful and more meaningful. In order to do that, come to the design. So under the design, you can select a related style. I want to highlight the subtotal field, right? So then it will be highlighted and it is eye-catchy to the user who is checking this report. So then select another style where you can see the highlighted rows for the subtotals. Okay, which one is the best? Okay, I go with this green color. Right, now I can see it's nicely arranged. The subtotals highlighted in green. Okay, Now let's find out what are the other options under the subtotals. And you can see the layouts. Under the layouts, subtotals. If you don't want to see the subtotals, you can select do not show subtotals. Then subtotals will be disappeared. Show all subtotals at bottom of the group. Now here you can see subtotal at the top of the expense or the group. You can see group is the Kelly, group is the mom, group is dad, right? And it's showing at the top. But if you want to show the subtotal at bottom, then you can select show all subtotals at bottom of group. You can see now the subtotal move to the bottom. What is the third one? Show all subtotals at top of the group. So that is the default one actually, what we saw. That is about subtotals. Then the grand totals. If you don't want to see the grand totals, you can off for rows and columns both. Now you can see it was a column and it has disappeared. And then let's try the other options like, so these on for rows and columns, then it will be there. And then on for rows only, but we don't have rows here, so therefore we will not see them. And on for columns, it's already on. And then the report layout. This is another beautiful way that we can use to arrange our reports. Show in compact form. This is the compact form, what we are here. And show in outline form. What is that? Click and see. So once you do that, you can see buyer move to a different column and then the type. This one also really nice, isn't it? And then the third one, show in tabular form. Alright. So this is also a kind of a way, a nice way. And you can decide what is the suitable one. And then repeat all labels. So if you do that, then the buyer will repeat for all the lines. And then do not repeat item labels. So like that way you can arrange that. But I think I like the compact. So for me, but it's up to you. You can decide on that. And also if you want to break this up by separate the groups by a blank row, you can do that using this option. Insert blank line after each. So then you can see there is a blank line after each group. Okay, so in this way you can do this. And also let's think about another way. Let's move buyer into the columns. Okay, that is also nice, isn't it? We have the expense type here, and we have here under the columns who are the people spend these expenses, and then we have the total by expense type and also total by each person who spend this, and finally the grand total. So like that way you can arrange. And also you can provide headings, expense analysis. Okay, and here you can type expense type, and here you can type buyer, buyers, right? So like that way you can arrange this. So now it's really beautiful and meaningful and user friendly. Alright, so like that way, my friends, try to think about what is your requirement and ask question always and arrange it in a beautiful and meaningful way. Hope this is helpful to you. Try to apply this concept in your day-to-day work and use this, and share the lessons and these videos with your colleagues to multiply the knowledge. Thank you very much for watching this. Have a nice day. God bless you all.